Good victory. Back at home, it's encouraging again. The resiliency, we continue to find ways to win ball games, and that's kind of what it boils down to at the end of the day. And just building up some good callus as we continue to try to traject and trend in the right direction as we get ready to play some big time games coming up. Good one coming up this week. Atlanta Falcons, a well-coached team, play a physical brand of football. Got a lot of veteran core players out there. Looking forward to this one. It's going to be a good matchup. Really well-coached team. I think they do a great job in really the cover phases, return phases, kind of all around. Kuz kind of is a kicker in this league who's really been excelling. Might be struggling a little bit this year, but he's a guy that, when his number's called, he usually comes through. So we'll see if we can get some pressure on him. But overall, I was encouraged. Thought we covered well this past weekend. Not too much action. They punted one time, we punted twice, and covered one kick. So it was kind of a quiet game for us, but in a good way. So, with that, open up some questions.
Matt, how do you describe, I guess, the job that Jake McQuade has done for you? The fact that he wasn't on a team and just had to come in here and assimilate himself quickly and be able to do that job.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's a good question, man. You look at it, I mean, this guy has been an all-pro, in his career. Come in fresh off the streets. He's always, I just kind of credited his preparedness, his readiness. Comes in, does an unbelievable job of really kind of connecting and blending and bringing the entire unit together. Him and Parker actually had some history together. They were both in Detroit training camp last year, so they got some familiarity there. Then you bring him in with Mr. Wright too. Just do a great job of just communicating overall. That's really what it boils down to. Where do you want me to put it at, Mr. Wright? Where do you like it at from a field goal and really a long snap standpoint? But he has done an unbelievable job from helping me in terms of planning. How does he see punt? How does he see some rushes? Or how can we attack the opposing long snapper? But it's been a joy to have him in the building and really kind of just same operation. Whether it's him or Poe, he's kind of just picked up right where we left off at, which has been really encouraging. Credit to him and Parker. I think they've done an unbelievable job up until this point.
What's your guess about what will happen this week? Do you think those guys are ready to?
Yeah, so we opened up the windows for Poe and Will. We'll see how those guys do throughout the week, and hopefully we're able to kind of get them back, but we'll kind of see where that ends up trending towards. But they had a session this morning. It went really, really well, and so we'll see if we can have another session here coming up in a couple of days. And hopefully those guys are good to go, and if they are, then hopefully we'll have them back. But right now it's kind of up in the air, so we'll see.
Parker, what do you think he's done just to show the rest of the league that he could be an NFL kicker?
Yeah, again, I think the biggest thing is for a guy like Parker, he's just looking for the opportunity, and I'm glad we were able to give that to him. And he truly maximized every single rep. Going 11 for 12 from field goals. I was happy to see he hit the 55-yarder. I mean, I thought he struck that really well. Great hit ball. You love to have the 43-yarder back that he missed. He was just kind of bad swing path. Just kind of didn't finish on that one. But you look at it. It's so funny. After the game, we just kind of talked about all of his experiences and kicks, and through 4 games he's kind of seen it all, where every single point Jacksonville is all him, to hitting the game winner overtime in Chicago, to having a critical field goals here in Arizona, having really all 3 outdoor games, and finally get a chance to come indoors, hit a long one there. So he's kind of been through the ups and downs of pressure situations from a kicking standpoint in the NFL, and he's answered the bell and answered the call to truly show that he is, and really deserving of being one of 32. And I'm so thankful for all the work that he's done up until this point. And whether it's continuing to kick with us come Sunday, I do believe that he'll get another opportunity if it isn't with the Minnesota Vikings moving forward. But a huge credit to him and his hard work and everything. Because again, just like Jake, he didn't have any workouts prior to us releasing him back in August, and so for him to come in and show that readiness and preparedness says a lot about who he is, his work ethic, and I can't say anything but positive things about him and what he's been able to do up until this point.
You kind of touched on it, but how happy are you that he's gotten this chance to showcase himself, because it might have not come
Yeah. No, for sure. And and you always kind of go back and forth. I haven't been in this position, but just like as a kicker, you just don't know, like, man, how much can I hang on to, being one of 32, especially if I'm then getting the opportunities on these tryouts. Kickers are going down left and right. Nobody's bringing me in. Is my window closing? Do I leave it open? Do I need to consider going back to the UFL to get another look? And so, again, you just got to believe in yourself and have that confidence, that belief, and just keep working at it. But I'm just so thrilled that us as an organization was able to give him that opportunity. He maximized it, and surely enough, it's going to propel his career forward. I truly know that, and the way this kicker thing is going this year, surely enough, if he's not with us, he's going to be somewhere, for sure. Hopefully, he's not playing against us.
Matt, I know you're on the headsets for these games. I just wonder, what you think of Flo and KOC, their ability to make adjustments in game and that process on the fly.
Yeah, it's incredible, and communication is always at the top of everything that we do. And I think the biggest thing is just collaboration, not only amongst KO and Flo and myself, but the position coaches are aware. There's constant communication going on. Guys do an unbelievable job up in the box on what they're seeing. Sideline adjustments are happening fast, and you look at it, it's just a huge credit. Just everything that goes on the sideline. There's clear job responsibility of what guys are looking for, how they need to respond. Flo trusts his defensive staff to be able to lean on them in critical downs and situations. Coach Durante Jones, for one, kind of being that third down guy. He's already, even after a first down call, whether it's a positive or negative play, he's already communicating with Coach Jones. Hey, kind of be thinking on a third down call here. What you thinking? What do you like? What did we give him the last third down that we have? And that's just a huge credit, the trust factor that he has in his coaching staff. And KO's constantly asking, on top of everything, hey, you was kind of getting this, maybe we need to consider this. And so there's always a good back and forth going on the headsets. And it's always just good, clean, clear communication. And it's open and it's honest, and it's very transparent on game day. And, you got to stay poised among the chaos, because it's a lot of chaos going on, as you can imagine.
Matt, it seems like around the league, and Aaron Jones was a victim of the punching the ball out.
Yeah.
It seems like that's just happening all the time. Kind of, you see it in college every Saturday. And I wonder about how you coach that, because sometimes they just punch the guy, and I think that's supposed to be a flag. But how do you teach going for the punch the ball out without just punching the guy in the face and hurting your hand, or missing the tackle? It seems like that's something that everybody's trying to do now.
Yeah, for sure. I think the biggest thing is, and we always tell the guys all the time, there really shouldn't be a time or when you're tackling where you don't have your fist balled up. Like, every single tackle you make, you should just have your fist balled up. And if you're working, proper tackling techniques, more times than not, we talk about how, your shoulder, your arm is an extension of your shoulder. And so a lot of times, a lot of balls come out just by you having proper tackling technique, tackling at the level of the football. And I just might be having my fist balled up, and next thing you know, the ball is coming out. And, we get into vulnerable positions by the runner. I don't want to get into all that kind of stuff. But, if you're tackling with the proper technique, more times than not, you don't have to consciously think about, oh, man, if I go for the football here, do I have to be concerned with not actually making the tackle? Because a takeaway tactic is a part of the actual tackling process itself. So you don't ever really too much worry about, should I go for the ball? We should always go for the ball, because if we do go for the ball, quite naturally, we're also going to be tackling the ball carrier as well.
So now I'm intrigued. If you have your hand, you're not supposed to grab at all the jersey at all, or as you're making the tackle, you're not grabbing. You're supposed to have your hands.
Well, I can tackle and punch at the same exact time. So if I'm tackling with my shoulder, it's more so your shoulder that's allowing you to kind of tackle the football, or my arm, again, my arm being an extension of my shoulder. So if I come in and I tackle you, Kevin, and all of a sudden, let's just say I don't have my fist balled up, but if I tackle you and my shoulder hits at the level of the football right there, then I have an opportunity to draw the football loose. Or, I could collapse the elbow of the runner, and next thing you know, the ball spills out over the top because my arm is just an extension of my shoulder right there. Or I could come in and shoulder tackle you and be punching at the same exact time. to be able to go and jar the football loose. So, you just think with the amount of force that's coming from a shoulder leverage tackle that quite naturally you're going to be able to put the ball carrier on the ground.
You don't need to have like open hands to grab the guy when you're.
Nah. At least I don't think so.
Okay. No, I'm curious.
Yeah.
Can you pinpoint like when punching? I know Peanut told me he used to do it, but like when did it become just commonplace?
Yeah, I mean, shoot. Yeah, I mean, obviously Peanut was doing it at an elite level back in 2008 and 9. But I think you really saw the acceleration of it probably come, let's call it 2017, 18 or so. And, I mean, now it's common. I mean, you're going to see, you watch the tape. I watch the fumble tape. It's usually on average, call it 35 to 40 fumbles a week. Usually what you're getting, you could probably say 8 of those are mishandled snaps, ball going over the quarterback head or dribbling back there. But outside of that, it's punch-outs, it's rakes, it's good shoulder leverage tackling. You're not really seeing too many where your helmet is causing a true fumble just because guys are being taught now to protect the head and neck area. So you kind of getting your head out of it, and it's more so I'm coming from a non-aggressive angle, coming from behind the runner. More times than not, runners aren't seeing you, or runners are falling into these vulnerable positions, what we call them. Like they're bracing, and you don't have second-hand cover on the football. And so now, guys got big eyes on a small target to be able to go punch the thing out. I mean, we're talking about the elite of elite athletes out here, and, they do an unbelievable job of things happening fast to be able to pinpoint and be able to punch the football out. So, even with a second-hand cover, the ball isn't safe. It's never safe, really.
Matt, after working with Metellus so much in 2022, what are you watching now that you're just most impressed by?
I think the biggest thing is, again, the guy is as versatile as they come, but he's continuing to progress. We always talk about, progress being a process, and this guy is constantly learning, constantly growing, looking for ways. And, the thing is that the great ones want to be coached. They want to be coached hard, but most importantly, they want to be told the truth. And the thing about Metellus is that he's a truth seeker. He wants that open, that true, honest communication on what he does well, what he needs to improve on, how can he get better. And you're seeing the progression of him week in and week out from a coverage standpoint. They mashed him up on McQuade kind of all last game right there, felt comfortable doing that. He can blitz, he can drop in a zone coverage, he can kind of do it all. But to see him flourish and continue to grow in the Flores system is very encouraging, and his role only continues to expand.
He came flying in on a couple of those field goal attempts. Did he get close on it?
Yeah, he did. And we kind of adjusted some footwork, and it's really kind of bad coaching on me, but we kind of switched up some things that he's been doing from previous early in the year that I didn't catch, and that really kind of helped him out in terms of being able to get closer. So, that's really a positive right there. So we'll continue to work on that, get some more post-practice work. But I can see in the hopefully, real future of him taking one off the foot right there. And again, that edge pressure, kickers are aware of, especially if they're watching tape, and, all you can see out the side, all it takes is to feel a little side pressure on the side, and next thing you know, you're kind of missing one wide right or wide left right there. So we'll continue to keep working on that.
Is there anything specific you need to see out of Will this week to know he's ready to go?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is as we get into it, how much does he fatigue? It's kind of gonna be the thing for him there. We'll make sure we get enough sessions in, because it's hard to replicate a game with a 3 to 3.5 hour window, especially when you start talking about pregame. From pregame, he's getting his racks of 12 to 14 in, and throughout the game as he's going, he's hitting the light in the net, and he's got kickoff duty and field goal and PAT duties. And so we're just kind of trying to do our best and not necessarily replicate a game, but try to get good amount of work in to try to see how does he hold up from a fatigue standpoint, to make sure that muscle isn't causing him any strain or any concern.
Thanks, everyone.
Cool. Appreciate y'all.